Well, as yesterday we have already discussed about the question pattern of the final examination. English paper is divided into the two parts, part A and part B. That is part 1 and part 2. Part 1 will be of 40 marks, totally MCQ, multiple choice questions. 20 marks reading, that will be MCQ. 10 marks literature, that will be also MCQ. 10 marks grammar, that will be also an MCQ. Part B, 10 marks writing, 2 questions, 5 marks for later writing, 5 marks for analytical paragraph writing. Then 30 marks direct questions from the literature will be asked. So you may understand the importance of your literature and language book. 40 marks of the questions are going to ask from literature book only. So dear children, that's why we are revising your chapter again and again, because we know the importance. Yesterday, the half, that is 2 stanza of the poem Animal was discussed. Today, I will discuss the next stanza of the poem Animal. Now, no one is dissatisfied, no one is disappointed. Yesterday we have discussed that we, the human being, are full of ills and evils. We have a strong sense of possession. We all are demented. We all are crazy. We all are mad. Mad about what? Mad about worldly possession. We want to collect the things. The more we want to collect, the more we become greedy. And if we will turn extremely greedy, what it will result? It will result into jealousy, hatred, war. So you may see what the poet has hit upon. What the poet has hit upon. In fact, the poet was a romantic poet. He was influenced by the idea of Rousseau. He was influenced by the idea of Voltaire. He was influenced by the war of in this revolution. That is which revolution? I am talking Russian Revolution. The revolution that has turned. What was the main point? The Wordsworth, the Keats, the Coleridge, and the other poet, they have demented, they have said that we, the human being, have lost our natural values. What is nature? And nature is what? That if we are born as a human being, the very first and foremost duty of a human being is to stop greed. But we are not satisfied with. This is what the poet is talking about. That no one is dissatisfied. Who is no one over here? Here the world of animal. No one is symbolical of whom? No one is a symbolical of animals. The world of animal. The world of animals. The world of animals are not dissatisfied. Whereas, I have already told you that the present poem is a comparison. Comparison between whom? Man and animal. A man is dissatisfied. A man is jealous. A man is greedy. A man is worried about all the worldly possessions. We have endless desire, whereas animals don't have. Animals don't have desires. That is why they are not dissatisfied. Next, no, not one is demented, not a single animal is mad, is crazy. Crazy about what? The mania of owning the things. Mania is a kind of mental disease. As we are mad, you see what we have turned into ourselves. We have extremely valued materialistic thing. Remember, my dear children, materialistic things have no importance in your life. Funny thing is that we only prepare for our life, but we never prepare for our death. The strangest of the thing, when Lord Krishna asked Arjun, what is the strangest thing in the world? What was the answer? The strangest thing in the world that every day we come across, we see thousands and thousands of people are dying. Every day we see somebody has lost their life. But we don't remember the thing. When somebody dies, you should realize that someday, somehow, somewhere, you have also to die. But we are not. We forget it. The very fact of the life is forgotten. And that's why we are trying to hold, we are trying to collect the things. If we are preparing for this world is not our home, my dear children. This world is just what? What Shakespeare says? That all the world is a stage. And we all are the players. So a day we have to exist. We are the puppet in the hand of God. So, what is the point in all these things, the collectings, all the things? What is going to be with you? Your karma, your deed is going to help you in your future life. The life after death. There is a life after death. That is, the concept of heaven is not wrong. There is heaven. When the entire world will perish and everybody will die, the great judgment day, we will going to grant heaven or hell. So here the demented. So a man is crazy, a man is mad. We have in fact joined the rat race. And how we could forget it? Even if we win, we will not going to be a champion. A rat will always remain a rat. He is not going to be loyal. So what is the point in it if we join any rat race of the life? So here the poet has beautifully compares between animal and the man. Animals are not dissatisfied. We are dissatisfied. We have a long list of dissatisfaction. We have a long list of complaints. Ask anybody. Hundreds of complaints. They are dissatisfied without reasons. If we will look for reason, you will be never happy. A man has surrounded himself. We have surrounded ourselves with so many ills and evils, so many rules, so many principles, so many dogmas, and all these things are making us sick. And that is why we are dissatisfied. And no one is demented. Demented means what? Mad. Mad with the mania of owning the things. Now, no one kneels to another, nor to her his kinds. Animal never knelt before anybody else. Animals never knelt if, to kneel before. What we kneel before? One who stoops to conquer, जो झुकता है वो आगे बढ़ता है. This is man is stout. A man is stout since the early days, that one who stoops to conquers. So here it is. We are taught from the very early days to kneel down, to stoops, to bend down. But animals have no competition. They never knelt down before any animals. They have no mentors. They have no teachers. They have not godfathers. Man has godfathers. Funny thing, we have made our godfathers. One God is not enough for us. We have many gods. And these godfathers that is ruling in the world is toying us. They are toying with us. They are playing with us. In fact, why they are toying? They are toying because they want to rule over us. So we have godfathers, whereas animals don't have godfathers. We have mentors, we have motivators, we have social reformers, we have political leaders. But animals don't have. They don't have, they never kneel before, not his kind, live thousands, and even we have ancestors, list of ancestors that we respect them. We have ancestors like Mahatma Gandhi, we have ancestors like Sardar Patel, and we are bound by their ideas. And we are not individual, not a single is an individual. Though we have our own thought, but we are guided by the ideas of Mahatma, idea of Buddha, idea of Lord Rama, idea of Muhammad. What is the idea? Why a man will be guided by the ideas of prophets and lords? One Lord is not enough. One God is not enough. Every religion has thousands of gods and enough. One God is enough. God is omnipresent. God is everywhere. So what is the need of so many gods? Funny thing is that we have turned ourselves into the God. We behave like a God. So animal never behave like a God, because they don't have godfathers, and they never wanted to become a godfather. Their ancestors never given them any principle or any what you may call etiquettes or the set of the code of conducts to live. They are living according to their will. But here the man who has forgotten. Here the point is very simple, that we have in fact forgotten. What we have forgotten? What the man has forgotten? The man has forgotten. Remember the words of Lord Krishna in Gita. What he said? That a man is born for the betterment of mankind. God has given us birth for what? For the betterment of mankind. Not betterment of yourself. But here you see that in spite of doing better for others, we are looking better for ourselves. And we have turned ourselves into the selfish thing. We have turned ourselves into the self-controlled, self-centered, and we have forgotten our real duty. Real duty of a human being is to full of sympathy, kindness, benevolence, mercy, charity, so on. But if you will recall, if you will look at back your duty, you will see that how how much you are sympathetic, how much you are full of milk of human kindness. We lack milk of human kindness. Milk of human kindness. Let me see. We lack this thing. We lack milk of human kindness. So here you see, years ago, no one is respectable or unhappy. Not a single animal is found unhappy. And when you will go pass away, countless of the people are unhappy. Why he is happy, why I am happy, I don't know. I am happy and I am unhappy because somebody is unhappy. We are unhappy for what? The reason is very simple. Philosophy tells us that the reason of the tears are one reason. Most of the people weep for what they want but they don't have. We weep for want. We weep for our wants. And if we are not getting our wants, we become restless. So this is the reason of our attachment. We have attached ourselves with the results, and that is the cause of our misery. Who said it? Who said it? Vivekananda. Vivekananda, the great philosopher, said that the attachment is the greatest cause of our misery. Misery means trouble. We have attached ourselves with so many things. We have attached with ourselves with the family. We have attached ourselves with the money. We have attached ourselves with the results. We have attached with our children. So many attachment. These sentimental attachment have made us restless. We should remember that we are only what we are. We are only here to play our role. I am playing a role of a father. So there should be, of course, sentimental approach. But too much of sentimental approach is not good. Because once you are just playing a role, what Khalil Gibran said, when APJ Abdul Kalam was leaving his home, what Khalil Gibran said, that we may come, our son and daughters may be given birth by us, but they are not our child. They are the child of their time. Time itself is aspiring for them. So let them go. Let them go and grow into the lap of time, into the lap of nature, and they will furnish themselves. Next. Unhappy over the whole earth. The world of animal is not happy. They are not worried about the respect. So they saw their relation to me and I expected. Here there is an introspection. The poet introspects. Introspection is a self-talking. He is introspecting. introspect, introspecting. When we introspect it, he is talking to himself and asks the question, from where these quality? The poet is surprised by these quality. Here you see what the tokens. The token of myself, token is the quality. The poet is surprised at the qualities that the animals have. And he wondered from where they get these quality. The quality that we human beings should have. We the human being. God had made for these God has made us for this quality. But we have brushed these quality aside. And since the industrial revolution, a man has turned himself into a machine. What we are? Modern man have lost their sense. Modern man have lost their taste. Modern man have lost their wisdom. Modern have lost their logic. We have only one logic, that is materialism. That is only materialism. There is no spiritualism. Even if we even boast about, you may have come across that people often talk about that I have visited some religious places. I have done service to my parents. I have done some help to the poor. Why they say so? They want, in fact, even we are such a base fellow. I just think about the situation that why somebody is boasting about his charity. I have given 1,000 rupees. What is the point in it? Charity should be done in the way that when your next hand, if you are giving by right hand, your left hand should not know about your charity. But we popularize it. We advertised it. We show the receipt. See, I have given 20,000 rupees to the poor's wedding, for the cause of poor wedding. What is the point over here? Here, we want to gain social status. We want to gain praise from our friends. That they will tell me, oh, he is such a religious person. He is such a kind-hearted person. He has a beliefs in temple. But I have visited a temple. Take the sweets. So we boast about even the godly acts, even the religious act it is boasted about. Funny thing is that, when we boast about the religious act, we talk about our religious act. So there is no point in it. So here the poet is asking. The poet introspects himself and says, from where animals got these qualities? This is the biggest question. From where? It is from the world. The quality that we should have, but we have in fact lost this quality. All this quality that the poet is talking about, it is present in this world. All these virtues are present, but we have turned our eye blind towards the virtue of the world. So, token to eye devices. So here he devises, he reveals, then plain their possession. He reveals himself that all the plenty in their possessions. How? Such a rich quality. What are the rich qualities that is used? That he is calm. He is self-controlled. He never weeps and cries. He has no complaints. He is not dissatisfied. How? Where? How the patience, how he became so calm, how he has got the self-control, how he has got rid of dissatisfaction. How, where? So this is the question to you. This is a question not to the animals. The poet is in fact asking this question to the readers. And wants us to remind that, oh my dear children, see if these animals, that is, animals have no reasonings. They are not as supreme creature as a human being. Man is the supreme creature of God. God has given us reasoning, understanding. So why? What is the purpose of giving us reasoning and understanding? Why we have turned our understanding into a negative thing? And you see, as gradually we are progressing, gradually we are demented, gradually we are becoming so materialistic. You might have seen that people have lost their social values, moral values. Only few people, they are social concern, society concern, people concern. So here the role of animal is given. Wonder where they got these token. Who wonder? The poet wonders. Where they get, who is they, animal, got this token. Token is the quality. Why the poet wonder? The poet is talking about that from where this quality is possessed by the animals. Did I pass the way huge time ago? And poet thinks that if he will pass, if he will spend some time with animals, he will sure that he will get some good quality. He wants to pass some time with animals. He wants to go back to the animal world so that he could learn how to be quiet, how to be self-controlled, how to not sweat about, cry and complain, how to get rid of about the cries and complain, how to lead a life that is peaceful, that is happy, that is healthy. So, naturally dropped them. Did I pass the way huge time ago? And negligently, carelessly dropped them. What he carelessly, what the poet has carelessly, here the poet, the human being, we have carelessly dropped our these quality. So he suggests us that please go to the world of animal so that we could get some good quality. If you want to learn how to be faithful, go to the animals. If you want to be honest, go to the world of animal. The honesty that is found in animals is nowhere found. That is exemplary. The honesty that is found in animals. Elephant is known for their honesty. Dog is known for its honesty. Honesty and service. If you want, faithful. Dog is the most faithful. Elephant is the most faithful. So learn the lesson of faithfulness from the dog. This is what he wants to say. If you want to be faithful, see the dog. Then some quality of faithfulness will come to you. Otherwise, nobody can teach you the lesson of faithfulness. If you have not nurtured, then go. This is what he said. This is what he wants to say. So, here the poet Walt Whitman, that was an American poet, he was born during the Russian movement, influenced by the Romantic poets. Romantic poets were in opinion that man has forgotten its natural values, and that is why there is a deterioration. So there is a reason for reawakening. Why there was a reawakening? Renaissance was a reawakening. So here there is a reawakening. Here the poet wants to reawake. to wake up us. He wants to give us a wake up call that, oh dear, you have forgotten your true values. So please go to the animal world and learn, then come to the society. Otherwise, you don't have a right to live in the society. So, this is what the text is about. Now come to the question answer.